you will sell, for example, from 10,000 units, sell 6,000 units sale in Riyadh, okay? And you have one offer from Dammam, one offer from customer in Dammam. He asks you to sell him, for example, 2,000 units. But the price in Riyadh was, for example, 10 riyal. And the customer from Dammam, he asked the price, for example, 6 riyal. And the variable cost was, for example, 5 riyal. This is variable cost. This is the price in Riyadh, and this is the price for offer from Dammam. So here we have financial information, such as variable cost, such as price, such as quantity, unit quantity, okay? But also the manager sometimes he focus for non-financial account information. So here non-financial information, maybe the manager he planning to open a new market in Dammam. So sometimes he will accept this offer if he plan to open a new market. So this will be the non-financial information. Another example. For example, Mercedes cars. The manager he decided to make battery, or he will decide to purchase battery. So if he will go to make battery, he will go by the financial information. And also if he go to purchases the battery from other company, so he will also focus for financial information. But
difference.
They will focus also for the quality of battery. So if you go to another company specialized for product battery, maybe the battery from the product factory will be more than better when the Mercedes car or Mercedes factory will go to make it. So sometimes he will focus for non-formation accounting. He will focus for quality of the product. Okay, so this means non-financial information. And for decision making, we need to consider what's the means relevant information. VC. I would add, this is 124. VC. What's the means relevant information? What's the means relevant information? Relevant information means it will be effect in your decision. When say this is relevant information means will be effect in your decisions. So when the information affect in your decision, they must have two conditions. The first will be relative with the future. So relevant cost means expected for future data, means relative with the future, and also we have the first amount for chances or alternative. So we have some alternative and relative with the future. So we will say this is relevant information. Relevant information affect your decision. So when the information affect, they must have two conditions. first, relative or expected for future. Second, we have multiple chance or we have differ among alternative. Okay, VC. Okay, Butul. So, we will go to work in some decision. We will go to work in some decisions. The first decision will be make or pay decisions. Make or pay decision. So, make or pay decision, we have two alternative or one alternative.
One decision.
In the first decision, make or pay. So we have two chances, make or purchases, and it will be expected in future or relative with the past.
I thought the future.
Expected to future. So we have expected to future, and we have differ among alternative. Okay. So our decision, we will decide if you will go to purchases or if you will go to make. Okay. Okay, VC. The first decision, make or pay. After prepare your analysis, you need to decide it. You need to decide it. You will go to make or you will go to purchases. Okay? So,
Have you thought?
بتقول لسه في صوت؟ Okay. So, for decided purchases or making, you need to make compare between cost of purchases with cost of making. So we need to decide it. Cost of making with cost of purchases. So cost making and cost purchase or pay. So we need to decide if cost making greater than or exceed cost purchases, so your decision will be what? If your cost making greater than or exceed cost purchases, so your decision will be
في خسارة.
no.
Profit.
You have two chances. Okay. For example, cost making was 1,000 and cost pay was 900. So your decision to go to make or pay.
Make. Sorry.
Pay. So you will go to purchases. So by this compare, you need to decide the cost of making and the cost of purchase. After you will go to decide it. Okay? So your decision will be compare between total cost of purchases with total cost of pay. Make. So here compare between if cost of making exceed cost of pay, you will go to buy. And if you're making less than purchases, you will go to making. So we have here, we have example. So you need to know for fixed cost, VC, fixed cost will be irrelevant cost. Okay, VC, fixed cost will be irrelevant cost. So you need to avoidable the fixed cost. So because fixed cost, if you make or if you purchase, it will be there. So fixed cost, VC, fixed cost, it will be irrelevant cost. So you will go to avoidable fixed cost, just rather than if you have note about fixed cost. If there is no note about fixed cost, so fixed cost will be irrelevant cost. Okay, so you not take it fixed cost in your decision, because when you go to purchase or when you go to make, fixed cost will be there. You will payment as you purchases or as you make. So fixed cost, VC, fixed cost will be irrelevant cost. So you will leave the fixed cost. So here, direct cost will be relevant for decision. So direct cost and variable cost will be relevant for decision. So you will take it in your decision. So here, as you see, we have direct material, direct labor, and variable overhead cost. So the total cost for making, this is the cost when you go to make. So the relevant cost, just direct material, it's relevant, so we'll take it in your decision. Direct labor plus variable overhead cost. This is will be relevant cost. So 11 plus 4.5 plus 6. The total cost will be 21.5. This is 21.5. This is the cost of making. 21.5. This is the cost of making. And Omar, we need compare making cost with purchases cost. So purchases cost, how much? He said for purchases cost $20. So we need to compare between making 21.5 and purchases will be 20. So the total cost for purchases 20 per unit and making per unit 21.5. So what's your decision? So purchases. So he will go to his decision. He will decide to go to purchases. Clear? Okay. So here we go. This is the simple analysis. We go to analysis answers. So here, as you see, we have compare between this is the making and this is for purchases cost. And please take care, he said for price for purchases with $20, but sometimes he will add expense, purchases expense. So for example, he said here 20 per unit, but sometimes he will say also the company they will pay expense, purchases expense. So we need to add purchase expense to price cost purchases. Clear, Shabab, VC? He said here 20 per unit for selling price, but if there is any purchase expense, so you need to add it to price selling. Okay? So here we need to make compare. direct material and variable material will be relevant information or relevant cost. So we take direct material, direct labor, variable overhead cost. So total amount will be 21.5, and for purchases the cost will be 20. So you go to, your decision will be to purchases. Clear؟ واضح صبايا؟ شباب VC. We will go to next exercise. We have also second exercise about the first decision. Second exercise about the first decision. Our decision, make or purchases. So here you have the details for making cost. This is details for if the company go to making. This is the details for cost, the product making. And he will say also the price will be cost, the price will be 25. So we need to compare between 25 with relevant cost making, and the company, they went to product purchases or making 20,000 units. Okay, so we will go to analysis. Here the cost making per unit. The total cost making per unit will be total cost making 30, and the price cost 25. The price cost 25, and he went to make or purchases 20,000 units. So he need to make or purchases 20,000 unit. So 20,000 unit multiply the price cost 25, so you will get the cost of purchases will be 500,000. Clear? VC? This is 500. The total cost for making, for purchases. So after that you need to decide which relevant cost from the making. So we said fixed cost will be not irrelevant cost, and also other irrelevant costs, for example, general factory overhead and depreciation of equipment. This is irrelevant cost. So general factory overhead and depreciation of equipment, it is irrelevant cost. We say relevant cost, any direct cost or variable cost. Direct cost with variable cost will be relevant cost. So depreciation for equipment and general factory overhead will be, it is irrelevant. So we need to avoidable 13
minus 30.
Okay, so total cost for making will be 30. So 30 minus irrelevant cost 13, so will be making cost will be 17. So here 20,000 unit multiply 17 will be less than or greater than purchases cost.
This than cost.
Less than. So 20 multiply 17 will be 340,000, and a 20 unit multiply 25, you will find the 500,000 the purchases cost. So your decision go to purchases or making because less than the purchases. So we need to compare between, we have making cost 13 per unit and purchases will be 25 per unit. So 20,000 unit multiply 17 will be 340,000, and 20,000 unit multiply 25 will be 500,000. So making will be 340 and purchase will be 500,000. So your decision will be go to make. Clear, VC? Okay.
كم من نوع له الدكتور الآن relevant؟ الآن relevant اللي ما نحسبها
Irrelevant, الفيكس كوست.
والdepreciation
Depreciation of work woman and
overhead
general
overhead
factor in general.
ثلاثة بس.
Unfixed cost will be irrelevant. Okay? Here we have exercise number 3 about make or purchases decisions. So you need to also compare. Here the purchases price 72. Purchases price 72, and this is the details. This is the details for making. So direct material, direct labor, variable manufacturing overhead, it will be relevant or unrelevant. VC, relevant or irrelevant? Direct material, direct labor, variable manufacturing overhead, it will be irrelevant. So you need, it will be relevant. So you need to take it in your decision. But fixed cost, it will be irrelevant. Fixed cost, irrelevant. So this will be irrelevant. You will not take it in your decision because fixed cost. If you will go to make or purchases, you will pay. So fixed cost will be irrelevant. So we need to take just relevant cost. So from your exercise, relevant cost will be direct material, direct labor, or variable manufacturing overhead cost. So we need to compare between making purchases 72 with total cost for relevant 22.5 plus 31.5 plus 13.5. So will be كم مجموعهم؟ 6 عندك 5 66 67.5 67.5. So here we need to compare between relevant cost when you go to make with price for purchases. Price for purchases 72, compare with 67.5. 60 مش 67 67.5. So your decision will be go to purchases or making. Here the cost per unit. So this is making and this is purchases. So you will go to
Make.
make. You will go to make because cost make will be less than purchases. Okay, we see this is the making, okay, and this is the purchases. You will need to compare. So compare, this is the price purchases, and he went purchases or make 22,500,000. This is the unit. Okay, you can make compare between purchases or make per unit or by total. Okay, you can buy per unit to make compare or by the total. By the total, you need to multiply by the unit product. Okay, so unit product 22,500 multiply 72, so the total cost for purchases 1,620,000, and total cost for making also you will go to multiply 22,500 multiply the relevant cost. Relevant cost will be direct material, direct labor, or variable overhead. So 22,500 unit multiply 22.5, this is the direct material, multiply 31.5, this is direct labor, and also multiply 13.5, this is the variable overhead. So total cost for making 1,518,750, and for making 1,620. So your decision will be go to make. VC clear? So now we will go to next decision will be about the drop